Hey everyone, Felipe Vieira here, designer and front-end engineer with over 15 years of experience. I'm back today to start a really cool video series where I'll teach the best practices for development using Bolt and V0 to create a product. We will develop a product from scratch, from building it to deploying it and making it functional for the end client. I plan to use an IDE based on Visual Studio Code called Cursor. You will be able to download and install it on your machine. It is also based, John C., on artificial intelligence, but it works a bit differently from what we've seen in the market for Visual Studio Code extensions for coding. Usually it's a little chat that opens up providing autocomplete and so on. Cursor is a bit more complete, and I will absolutely, indeed, use the most free type of tool to do all this development. Okay, to avoid any cost for you. However, as a tip, it will be much faster if you acquire some type of paid investment. For example, the course costs $20 per month, okay, to have a bit more input and resolutions from it, okay? Otherwise, it becomes very slow and so on. You can do it with the normal free version, but it will take more time to complete the software, okay? If you pay the $20, then it has some quick requests, right? After that, you have slow eternal requests. It should close the month and renew, so you won't be without using Cursor. A Cursor will be an indispensable tool for those of you who want to pivot a product, right? As a senior front-end developer, we always have that friend and so on who comes up with a brilliant idea to become a millionaire and so on. And the guy is super invested in the idea, but no one buys it, because in his mind it makes a lot of sense. He can't sell the idea very well. And we as developers hear this all the time, We don't pay much attention to it. So this series of videos is very much directed at people who don't code, okay? So for beginners, those who are coding because they will make a very beginner-friendly version, it's like if you don't know how to code, it's not a problem. As we evolve the product, you'll pick up some tips and everything. Okay, if you kakuno kiba also want me to make a series on how you can learn to enter the programming career and everything, I can make a series of videos on how I learned right from scratch to reaching the level I am today, which is fluency engineer. Okay, leave a comment here. Okay, if you like the content, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike so we know, right? If you're enjoying it and everything, leave suggestions here in the comments about what you want to see or what I didn't cover in this first video. I believe it will be a series of videos. I believe that with 6 videos, we can cover everything, okay? I will try to divide it in the best way possible. So let's start right away, without further delay. This is what we have here. What did I think, folks, for us to do? To create a software that is not too complex, but also not a to-do list, because everyone makes a to-do list when they are learning programming. Everyone makes a to-do list. So what I think is cool is to see how we could do it. What I thought, if you want to suggest another type of software, you can put it here and I'll see if it's worth changing or not. As I thought, many people at the beginning of their careers and so on are applying for development jobs and everything, but the CV is that basic CV downloaded from LinkedIn and so on. So it becomes something kind of, I don't know, not very attractive to the recruiter, because the recruiter usually receives a very large range of resumes, especially through LinkedIn, like 800, 1,000 applications. So you have to stand out in some way. A well-crafted CV is one way to stand out. One of them, it's not the only one, but it already gives you an advantage. So I thought, let's make a software for converting LinkedIn profiles into this PDF format. We will create the interface and everything else. We will also have this PDF conversion format. I don't know if it's worth working with a database right now. If you think it's a good idea, comment here and I'll create a database module. Or we could create a history of generated resumes and save it in the browser, okay? Which is a slightly easier way to do it, and I think it will be nice for you, okay? And everyone who accesses ViewWeb will be able to save their CV and the generated versions locally, right? The scope isn't very well defined yet, okay? As we develop, we might change something here or there, but that's the idea, right? To create a CV generator based on LinkedIn, okay? Your LinkedIn profile. So let's get started. I'll also be discussing some good humane practices for developing with V0 and Bolt. First, we are going to create all these software versions that I will show. There are free versions that you can use. You create an account on Figma, figma.com, register there with your Google account and everything, and create a new document. This is the one where we will design roughly what we want to guide Bolt and V0. First step, when we have an idea, all right, we are going to build the LinkedIn profile. We search on Google, we look for an image of some service, something that already exists today. But what is important for us, what matters to us is the final format of the CV and a nice interface. What did I think? To create a drag and drop for information, it can be a Word document. But sometimes you have a CV in a Word document and not on LinkedIn. So we can do both. And a little field for you to put your LinkedIn profile or export the PDF and inject it there. I believe that the PDF is better because then we can already implement the logic to read a PDF, generate a PDF, download it, So let's do that. So we will have a drag and drop there. We will upload the PDF. It will process it and it will generate the resume for us, okay? An important thing that also happens with these people, especially when it's their first opportunity in the development field and so on, is that we need to create a personalized CV. Why? Depending on the technologies, the person is asking for in front end. If they ask for React or Bolt, and you put on your CV that you have experience with Angular, they will already choose someone who has experience with React. You understand? So we can include as an option there the job disclaimer, like let's put the job disclaimer here, and based on that, it will generate something different for us in each CV to make it dynamic. We can use OpenAI to do this, but you'll need that little key there. How does it work with OpenAI here? You bring your developer account there, and you'll have to put a little money in it. I think the minimum, if I'm not mistaken, is $10. Then those $10 last a long time. If you are AI enthusiasts and all that, like to use the local LLM and everything, I believe it is feasible for you to do this or use OpenRouter, right? One of the two. So let's get started. Let's put here, look, CV generator from LinkedIn. Does it KOX design? Why? I want to see if there is already a similar service. So do you have an idea, guys? Always search on Google for something similar to your idea to see the strengths and weaknesses and whether it's worth making a product based on it and everything, okay? We have this enhance CV here. We're going to take a look. Resume the IO. All right. And here we have Dribble. It's just IOX stuff, which is design. Okay. Taking a look at Dribble. This is for us to see the products that are currently running. Then we choose images. Why? Because then we will also see the interfaces. Okay. And a very important thing here is that we can do it in two ways. The Tilapa bolt itself for V0. We can sketch how we want. Okay, I will show the sketch here. And I will also show the version with a slightly more refined look, which normally someone starting from scratch won't know how to handle very well in Figma and so on. There is a lot of free content about Figma, okay? But it's basically a little vector Photoshop, okay? It's not very difficult to understand and to use, okay? So here you put your link, have it summarize, and it does it for you. Here are several examples. You see, here we already have examples of how we could do it, you understand? Good. But they use GPT too, cool. Here, there's the free version because I have the dark mode. So everything is in dark mode. You can change it, export to .docs, txt, and the share link is for generating the online version. You just Share the link. You can also do this, guys. In ours, there will be some cool templates. It's all more or less the same, right? A common idea, especially in gaming. People use services like this a lot. So here, all right, then you make a skeleton, edit. You can edit it. Oh, that's cool. There's a little summary. You click and edit. I think we can do something more or less in this style. What do you think? It will definitely be a bit more work with the stats, right? The stats, I think, aren't necessary in this first version. A very important thing in product development is to have an idea. First, you have an idea. You compare it with what's available in the market. C, the weak points that the market can't solve. And work your idea around these weak points, making it the core of your first app version. We always launch the first version of our app with a competitive edge and the minimum possible so we can launch quickly and test it in the market to see if people will use it or not. It's the famous MVP. And this screen here gave a choo-choo. So I liked this guy. I don't know if you liked it, but I did. Let me see if there's a static one of the version, which is this guy here. Import to liquid, okay? Let's see the images here. This is that editor there. But I think we could make a slightly simpler theme. Resume builder. This one seems to be a drag and drop. On Behance, Behance also has a lot of design stuff. It's from Adobe, okay? A lot of visual stuff there. A template that we can take a look at to have a base, okay? Let me remove the black here too to see how the sign is. All right, no. I didn't like it much, no. These colors, this color palette is interesting. A little blue, right? Okay. All right. So what did I say about the two formats we can make? We click here on frame, okay? And we are going to make desktop. It will create a screen of the first fold here of any site, usually this size. Then we can make the famous wireframe, which is basically more or less a draft of the screen. So we will have a text of welcome to our tool. Welcome to. Let's see how we can add up CV Express. I'm not going to talk about CV Express. The signal isn't very good, but CV Express. This will be like a disclaimer, okay? Let me just remove it too. Apply it everywhere, man. It's going to be annoying. All right, I'm going to set a size here, and we will center it. You don't need to be highly precise with this. If you press Ctrl-D, you duplicate this guy, and we need to duplicate, because here comes a summary. Convert now. Salim into 1. The icon in PDF in seconds. All right. What we're going to do here is a smaller font, right? Let's select to change the color, the size, all right? You see that it marks here, that it's centered. See, what did you release there? What we're going to do, we're going to create a rectangle. Let's make a border here of 5 px. It will round the corners, okay? The interior, we can leave just a little bit lighter. We're going to give it a stroke. Stroke is what the border is, okay? A little outside, just a little bit more than usual. And then we click here. Okay, we're going to choose the dash because we want dotted lines to show that inside here is a drag and drop. Okay, we can also delete it if we want. The gray background is not a problem. Then here, it usually goes logo, okay, or otherwise we can also put control. D, it's behind, recorded. You see that I duplicated it. It's here behind this white square. What we have to do is right click and select. Bring to front. To bring it forward, it came to the front. And here we usually use a slightly lighter gray, okay? And we use this gray also. And this guy here, okay? Everything will be ready, all right? This here is called the airframe, okay? We can also use this guy to make our first template, or we can create a really nice one ourselves, which will be more accurate. Let me see how it is here for the first time. This guy is a video. And then what we do is take a screenshot, okay? Copy. You can paste here in Figma as well. Control-C and Control-V. So what are we going to do? Selected this guy, export here as PNG. We are going to save this guy on our computer. Okay. This guy too. This guy actually doesn't need it. Let me open something else. All right. All right then. Second step. What do we do? GPT. Oh, GPT free. You can open it and do what I'm doing. Okay. What are we going to ask it to do? You can speak as if you were talking to someone. I'm thinking I want you to generate a prompt explanatory to build a web app with React that we are going to use without TypeScript to not complicate too much for you. Using Tailwind, which is the CSS framework for us to use, and Shadichny, which is also a component library that V0 uses. So, to build a web app with React without TypeScript, where I can drag a exported PDF from LinkedIn into it, and it generates another PDF with a different format and styling, also using the text input where the user can paste the summary of the desired job position for that book of theirs. So based on that, you will take the user's data from their LinkedIn PDF and change the sections of the PDF generated to match the job position. Let's do an example. In my LinkedIn CV, I know React, Node, Angular. Frameworks like Vue, Tailwind, and Material are popular CSS libraries of text. The job position posted requires React in Material. So in the description part of my profile, I emphasize my expertise in these areas. But remember that I need to have them in my LinkedIn profile first. Okay, because I don't know. The guy asks for COBOL, for example, and I don't know COBOL. I put there. I'm smart. I'm very good at COBOL. It doesn't make sense. I have to take what's in the CV and embellish it, you know? So that's what we're talking about. What else? The people mentioned this feature. The generated CV must be editable directly in the browser and have a button to save it in PDF format or save it in HTML and generate a link for it. You should save everything in local storage, which is locally on the machine of the man. It's in the browser. What else can we do here? What did you ask him for? I think that's good. So generate this prompt for me. So I can put it in new bolt in view for them to generate this. The interface will also have a theme, standard dark slate, and can be white if the user chooses. So define color palette, ideal for a corporate environment. Great. Then we will generate. Let's see what it will write for us. Look there. Create a web app, general, global, and components to customize interface and allow the user to drag and drop a PDF. Export the liquid, burst the general sales into the PDF, use based on the job summary, and provide it to the user. Follow the space below. Data import and extraction. Create a URL for the user to import the PDFs, extract data from PDFs. Analyze the content board. Provide a text input field where the user can paste the job summary for which they are adjusting their resume. A loss of cow digits with the information drawn, good customization. Beauty. Theme, personalization. Beauty, local storage. What did I forget here? There will also need to be a part to add an OpenAI key for it to perform this generation using artificial intelligence. So this has to be a configuration because the key is needed there to generate, right? Otherwise it won't generate, right? We will have to write, how would it generate? Okay, it will generate again. Why do we do this, folks? Because it's writing in a way that the AI understands better than we do. Wrote it directly there, you know, just like we wrote directly here for the ChatGPT, and it converted this into a slightly better format, right? Good. Yeah, I think that's it then, huh? It even suggested a library. Okay, we are going to copy this guy, all right? And we are going to our Bolt. Bolt, it's better for this because it's a system. Okay, we are not creating a page. We are creating a system, so Bolt is better. Right. Let's paste here what we are going to do. We are going to also paste the image. It doesn't copy and paste. How nice. Well, what we can do is just export this guy here so we can grab it. What can we do? Since this is the first page, we can make it like a template. So what do we do? Well, you can use View first to create this first part, okay? Let me log in. Why? Because V0. Tends to look nicer than Bolt if we do it in Visio. You weren't supposed to run it yet. You're running it. Don't start eating things. Let's not do that here. The file can be found in the download section of your device, where all downloaded items are typically stored for easy access. Use the images as a base, but create something better with the interface animation. There, that was our first prompt. Now let's see how it will generate. Okay, folks, so one recap. We took a look at the market, checked out the designers, and roughly finalized how we wanted it. This first part was sent to the GPT site. It summarized it. We put it here. This is the first flow. Okay. Everyone also asked how to do it for the team, to take what's here and for us to code on the machine. Many people end up getting lost in this part. Okay, we're going to do this here as well. As I mentioned, the tough part of V0, although it's better, okay, it generates everything into one thing. Just one single file, you see? So it's difficult to scale. Let's see if it crashed. Cool. That we have settings. Look there, I got it here. Nice. Cool, we have the black and white theme here. What is this here? I didn't understand. Then it generated. This guy here is where we're going to do it. I liked it. Let's use this as a base. We're going to copy this guy here. I already have an initial skeleton. All right, let me see. I just think he did it in Next. Use client and used TypeScript TSFX. Let's see if he converts it for us there in Bolt, okay? Well, from here he will separate, do everything correctly, okay? I'll use it. The Radix. Radix is a raw library of components with usability. Okay, it's not very focused on being pretty, design, needing to be cool and nice. Then it finished generating here. Let's see what he did more or less here. He creates an OpenA file. Client, all right. He created like an API similar to the GPT response. See how it responds in JSON. With these keys matching skills, suggestions rear-end experience, so using GPT 3.5 Turbo, which is the cheapest. Okay. I'll check the PDF. PDF to extract the content from the PDF. All right. And utils, but here he is using TypeScript, C, TS. This is because of ChatCN. You need to have this utils here. Here, TSX mixed, see, TSX with JTX. Ideally, you shouldn't mix them. He created that's config, it's config dn loader. It must be because of the API. All the components of ChatCN are there. Preview, job description, made of hooks toast. It's what appears. That little notification, you know? Start prompt. Why is he doing this? Let's see the app. He has two apps, TestX and JCX. I will talk to him. You duplicated some things. I asked without TypeScript, but for example, you generated app.jsx, the correct one. and generated the app.tsx, which is not what I asked for. Take a look and remove the TypeScript. I just really simply want JS and not the TypeScript, so delete the files, the wrong ones. You see it duplicated. There's the main TSX from app.tsx from app.jsx. Then we have the TSX, use toast.dis, which is not, it's TypeScript. We want JS. JavaScript, there it is. Doing now it's complaining that there's no app.ex because it's JSX, which the file that is it. There's no app.tsx from main.tsx, so we go to main.tsx. Change it here. Look, we definitely want the JSX use toast, absolutely. From app.jsx, this file exists. Let's see, use toast hooks from the app. Use toast. UI components. Use toast. Is there use toast here? There is no toast. There is use toast. Use toast is a hook, not a component. See, it's in hooks. Use toast. PS. So we have to put hooks. Hooks. The items. The items. The main layout is bad. It's all in a corner, and there are icons that don't load the light and dark theme switch doesn't work. Here's the image of how messed up it is. Let me take a screenshot here. I'll show him. It's messed up. So he can see more or less where he needs to change. Modify there. He's doing a part of the CSS from Toywin, defining some colors and some border styles. He'll be working on the local storage part there, right? Saving the local storage options. Then we'll organize this in a better way. The first steps are for him to set up the framework well, so we don't have so much manual work, right? Especially for those who aren't very familiar with coding, right? The more we can automate and start with a good starter, the better. He summarized everything that was done. Let's see if it looks more presentable. It didn't load anything. It's a bit messed up with these things, but that's okay. All right. It turned out perfect, but the icons are already fixed, you see. Let me see if I'm not. Come on, guys. I want to see how things are going. All right. Light and dark theme working. All right. This is going to be the first video, okay? We've already hit almost 40 minutes, right? And in the next video, we will check the functionality. Okay. If we upload a PDF here, whether it's okay or not, it will probably be more or less okay, right? Let's do the test. Otherwise, you'll be anxious, and so will I. Let's see, right? Sometimes it's not ready yet because we can refine it. Right. Check the profile. This is where you save. Okay. Resources, save as PDF. All right, it's saved there. Let's see. Yeah, clicking here isn't doing anything. Click on the link. Profile. I think, folks, that it's not working at all, huh? Let's see what happened. No, it's just not triggering the convert, okay? But we first need to set up OpenAI there so it can handle the intelligence for conversion and everything else, okay? So, all right. That's it for this video, okay? In the next video, we will start exactly from here. I won't do anything behind the scenes. We will do everything live, okay? Because something might happen along the way. That could happen to you as well, right? So it's good for everyone to be in sync. So thanks everyone. See you next time. Take care. Thanks.